I did my first transcription of a melody in 4th grade when we all wanted to play the theme to Hogan's Heroes. So we did that, and then I did my first marching band arrangement as a freshman in high school, and where I learned a lot of important things like you never write high Ds for high school trumpet players. At that point I decided I needed to learn to play the different instruments to know what not to write. So I did that. I did the typical thing of a lot of people, a lot of musicians playing in rock bands. In high school I played keyboard, sax, and lead vocal. By the time I got to junior year I was playing bassoon, stuck on that. I would write for my recitals. Lived in England and in Germany for a while, came back. I started being an assistant for a composer, worked my way into writing for animation, which is where I've spent the last 15 or so years. Mostly I knew Ross Wright first, and I got to meet all the other people through him. And I've done a couple of the concerts, not all of them. For instance, I didn't do the one with the string quartet and percussion, but I did do this one. I would have had to slap myself if I didn't do a wind trio, since I'm a wind player. But I've known these guys for years. I'm a big fan of Elvis Schoenberg, you know, Ross Wright's alter ego, Elvis Schoenberg, in the Orchestra Surreal. Got to know him through that and some other stuff. But I decided to take some American forms and futz with them a little bit. So the first movement is the march, and it's the typical form of a march, but just with a trio. And the challenge with working with a trio is to make it sound full. And so there's a lot of interesting interplay that goes on with that. And then the second movement is just basically a slow, reflective piece. Then the last one is just supposed to be with abandon. It's just it's a frolic, you know. And the third wheel has been really wonderful to work with. I went out to one of the rehearsals, and they were already pretty darn well prepared. And as anybody who goes to this concert will realize, there was some really tough music on the concert. So the dedication of the group really made a huge difference in getting it all done and getting a cogent performance.